Yo, it's Monster Monday, and if you don't know, it's time for you to find out about FerraMonster Knives and why I say they're doing big things in the premium knife market. Stick around. What's up, Cripple Crew? This is EDC with DBD, Disabled but Deadly, and today we are using Monster Monday as my reason to show you why I think FerraMonster Glideman is the best $200 knife you could buy, and I'm also going to tell you how this seemingly young company hit the ground running so hard. But first, stab that like button. /subscribe if you haven't already. I'd like to have you here. Plus, you're going to want to see all the cool knife and multi-tool and EDC content coming your way. Also, drop a comment below. Let me know what's in your pockets. What are you carrying today? Before I get into a little bit about FerraMonster themselves, I'm going to give you some specs on the Glideman. The Glideman is 7.19 inches overall, or 183 millimeters. It's 4.13 inches closed, 105 millimeters, and you're looking at 0.6 inches or 15 millimeters in width, including the clip, or 470 thousandths, 0.47 inches and 12 millimeters thick right here. The M390 blade, modified Wharncliffe, or possibly sheep's foot. I think it's that worn foot sheep cliff in betweener. 3.5 inches long, 77.5 millimeters. You're looking at 1.4 inches tall or wide, 35.5 millimeters, with a blade stock thickness of 0.14 inches, 140 thousandths, or 3.55 millimeters. So a little thicker, but this grind comes down to such a slicey edge, as I'll show you in a moment. The FerraMonster Glideman comes in at 3.77 ounces or 106.8 grams. Like I said, it's an M390 blade. You're looking at full tie scales, full tie back spacer, full tie hardware, including screws, and all the screws are T8. That's awesome, FerraMonster. So full titanium all the way around, M390, and only $205 with code DBD. Now, how did FerraMonster, with their first three designs, the other two being the Urban Grip and the Aurora Rays, how did they, as a new company, hit the ground running so hard? Well, FerraMonster has actually been around and doing OEM work for other knife companies, many of them that you're familiar with, for 20 years. Since 2004, they've done OEM work for other companies. FerraMonster brand was created in 2022, and they launched their first three models, and all of which are highly impressive. But because they have had so much time and experience and they have access to the materials, they're able to keep the price down. To me, for the quality that you're getting here, $205 is highly reasonable. They're $230 before discount. Still reasonable. But code DBD drops them to $205. So what else can you get for that kind of money? Well, with Benchmade, you can spend $180 and you can get an S30V blade. Not a bad steel at all, but not M390. And a steel clip and some crappy FRN scales. Then if you want to have a nicer bug out, this bug out here, to get to almost as nice as that Glideman, is now over $300. And if I went with titanium scales, I'd be in it even more. how about Spyderco? Everybody knows they're for American-made knives. They're probably the best value around. But $180 can buy you $189 with this blade finish. Can get you a stock paramilitary 2, coming in CPMS 45 yen. Another fantastic steel. Oh, there we go. That was retarded. Still, no M390. M390 coming in at 60 to 62 HRC, if I didn't say so. And with the PM2, it comes with G10 scales. Much better, and much better quality scales than the bug out. But still, these scales cost me $100, and the titanium clip is $45. Lynch Northwest, of course. You gotta have a Lynch Northwest clip. Same with the bug out. But FerraMonster coming with a gorgeous milled clip straight out the gate. So this PM2 is now well over $300. If I had titanium scales instead of Ultim, I'd be in it even more. So that's American value, though. How about Demko? So Demko does provide some great, for at least I think, not great value, but at least the price that you're paying on this one, you're getting decent materials compared to, say, the bug out. This one is rocking 3V steel. This is a DLT exclusive. And this one has G10 scales, at least, and the big pivot. Another Lynch Northwest clip because I can't stand the stock clip. So this one is an MSRP of $250 normally. Oftentimes you can find it on sale for about $180. Again, with the clip, I'm in it more than the Glideman. Now, this one I do have an amazing lock. I'll give it that. But the frame lock is a fantastic lock as well. What about a budget? Demko. These are MSRP at like $140 with OS 10A and FRN. You can get like S35VN and FRN and pay over $200 sometimes. So FerraMonster, when I say they're bringing value at $205, I truly believe that. Now, let's see with the new setup in here. I've got a temporary setup. I'm moving from where I have been filming to, we created a new office/studio for the wife and I, and we're waiting for the desks to get in. So let's try with the new setup, see how slicey I can be under the camera. I guess plenty with this knife. You know me, normally I can't slice at all under the camera. But when you have a blade as nice as the FerraMonster, it slices very easily. Now, that's 140 thousandths. This is less than 100 thousandths. Whoop. I haven't done anything to this Benchmade. I'm trying to get it. There we go. I knew it's slicey. It was my angles, folks. But, I mean, the FerraMonster is just as slicey because of its grind. That's my fault. Or the Benchmade needs a little more of a touch-up than I thought. And it hasn't been used too much. I just wanted to show that because I want us comparing quality at price. Now let's talk about ergos. Because ergos to me are very important. With my nerve damage, I have a very specific set of requirements, not requirements, but things that I really, really like and I look for often. I'm okay with losing blade sharpened edge length as long as I'm getting a forward finger choil. I look for either good jimping or a blade that locks my thumb into position. and a handle that's actually comfortable in my hands, because I have nerve damage and I try to get as locked in as possible so I can control the blade and run less risk of cutting myself. This knife has everything that I look for. I have a full 4-finger grip. It's not a large EDC, but it is enough to be a full size. I have a full 4-finger grip behind the flipper tab, and the jimping locks me in pretty well back here. When I move up, though, I can still hold on to that jimping and have a lot of strength for, like some piercing cuts. But I can also put my thumb all the way up here, and then this knife just melts into my hand and disappears. I don't feel the clip. I could sit here and work with this knife for hours without it cramping my hands up or causing me pain, and that doesn't come around very often. There's very few knives that I would compare to this in ergonomics. You saw a couple of them already. Everybody knows I don't have a PM3, a Para 3. I only have the PM2. The ergos on a PM2 are great, but even here, it's not as comfortable as this Glideman is, with the scales that I put on it that are pretty comfortable. What about the Demko? I've got a full 4-finger grip back here, jimping that locks me in. It's not a full finger choil, but it's enough. It's enough that I can choke all the way up with that half choil and not touch the blade edge, and the jimping still locks me in. But the scales, they're sharper, and the lines aren't quite as ergonomic. How about a couple of budget knives that come close? Damn Designs and Kaiser Mad Tonto. It's got some of that same swoop to it to melt into your hand. Has a low tip like the FerraMonster does to make it easy to work. Big forward finger choil and very comfortable ergos. This would probably be the second closest, with the closest being the Kaiser Mini Roach with the flipper tab removed. And if y'all know, that stripped out on me, but I got it drilled out this weekend, and it only cost me a pretty good slice across my left palm. I consider that fair trade because the super glue's holding up on the palm, and this became instantly the second most ergonomic knife in the collection. However, you can see it's got gunk on it because I've been using the heck out of it today. However, none of those come close to the comfort of this Glideman. The fit and finish on this is phenomenal. I would compare this with any of the $300 or $400 manufacturers. This is just as nice. The action is drop shut. If I don't see right there, just dropped it to my thumb. Let's pause for a moment, and I'm back. Like I said, drop shut action. It will drop straight to your thumb, and it is sharp. It will cut. Now, if I was gonna nitpick, which is hard, because I love that there is no billboarding anywhere. You just got the cool logo on the pivot, M390 on the blade. I see if that's coming across, and that's it. T8s everywhere, and they're titanium hardware, so I can't nitpick that. The plunge grind ends way back here. You've got more sharpening life than you know what to do with, especially with the edge retention of M390. So if I really had to nitpick, and it's not even anything that's wrong with this, it's just changes I might make, I would like to see one with a flipper tab delete. I would love to see one the flipper tab, don't get me wrong, the action is phenomenal. But Whoops, almost got me again. The reverse flick is where, and my hand got in the way. That was me slipping on the Band-Aid. Without me slipping on the Band-Aid, the reverse flick is absolutely money. Being a frame lock, I always have an issue locking myself out. This one, if I'm conscious, I can keep from locking myself out for the thumb flick. But if I was going to nitpick, if I was going to pick something I could change, I prefer a finger safe lock so that I wear fewer Band-Aids. My hands, my nerve damage, even if I'm not trying to, I can go here and my hand can involuntarily bring it back and just drop a blade on me. Or there's times where I push it over and my thumb and my finger will twitch and just flip a blade closed. So even liner locks are I would prefer to not have, but liner locks are easier for me still than frame locks. I don't know why, but every liner lock I have is easier for me than my frame locks. So I guess a finger safe Glideman would be amazing. But that's again not even anything wrong with this knife. It sounds like a shill. I can't find anything wrong with the knife. For $205, I think you are getting a fantastic knife. The edge grind is very even and it's very, very sharp. Everything that I would look for, that I would try to master if I was designing my own knife, they have found and they have done, and it's like they built this knife for me. So even though I sound like a shill, I'm still going to tell you, I would recommend picking one of these up right away. Only $205 with code DBD. The link will be down below, my affiliate link, if you want to check them out. That does help the channel, but completely up to you. Don't forget, I did start a Patreon, and that's EDC with DBD, and I will actually be uploading to that starting tomorrow. So check that out if you'd like to find another way to support my young channel. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what you're carrying today. Give me your thoughts on the Glideman. What do you think about this knife? Have a killer day. Stay safe. Stay frosty. But most importantly, stay deadly.